Hi, I'm Kirby Allison. Thank you for all your comments and questions that you guys have posted on our YouTube channel. After reading them all and answering as many as possible, I've selected 5 that we're going to feature in today's Q&A video. Each of these individuals I have selected will receive a complimentary pair of our Sovereign Grade shoelaces as a token of our appreciation for their participation in our channel. In today's Q&A video, we're going to be answering questions about cufflinks. Remember, if you have any questions or comments while you're watching one of our videos, please ask them in the comments section. I try to get back to as many of these questions as possible. Our first question today is from Chow Y Chow, and it reads, Kirby, must the shirt studs match with the cufflinks? I lost my mother of pearl shirt studs and have got new ones, but they do not match with the mother of pearl cufflinks. The cufflinks have a different design to the new shirt studs I bought. Sorry to hear that you lost those studs. I mean, it happens to all of us, and so I can't tell you the countless studs that I've lost before I started storing them all in the same place. The short answer is that you want your shirt studs and your cufflinks to match as closely as possible. Of course, preferably they are from a matching set, but if in your case you lost the studs and had to go buy new ones, there's really 2 things that you want to pay attention to. First, they absolutely need to be in the same metal. So if your shirt studs are out of a yellow gold, your cufflinks need to be made from a yellow gold also. Any type of mismatched metal is very obvious and something that you don't want to do, especially with black tie. Second, as much as possible, you want to match or at least coordinate the stones. So, if you have mother of pearl cufflinks and your studs are mother of pearl and they're of the same metal, then they're going to match perfectly fine and nobody's really going to know that they're not from the same set. That said, it's okay to mismatch your cufflinks and your studs. Like for instance, if you're wearing, something, like a mother of pearl stud set, but then you have, a special gold cufflink set that is solid gold with no stones on it, that would be totally fine. And again, something that nobody would really notice about. Like for instance, if you had our lapis set, right? So this is a gold medal, lapis lazuli. I mean, of course, the best would be to match that, with the matching cufflinks from the same set. But if you didn't have those cufflinks, the next best thing would then be to match it with something that is just of the same metal, right? So this is a yellow gold cufflinks. They'd coordinate just perfectly with these golden acorn cufflinks because the metals match. Our second question today is from Gregory Tapas, and it reads, nice cufflinks. In your video featuring your watch collection, you mention each watch has special meaning. Is this the case with your cufflinks? What are your favorite cufflinks? Well, Gregory, great question. You're right. A lot of the watches I do own do have special meaning. Like for instance, my Chopard perpetual calendar was a gift for my wife on my 30th birthday. That makes it special. And then the perpetual calendar complication is something that, as a teenager, I'd always been fascinated with. So I absolutely love this watch. A lot of my cufflinks are the same. The ones that are most special to me and that have the most meaning either were a gift from someone important to me, like my wife. These golden acorn cufflinks were actually a Christmas gift from my wife, Bianca. Or they were something I inherited from a family member. So for instance, my Ford Model T cameo cufflinks, I inherited from my grandfather who was in the car business and remind me of him every single time I wear them. So, I think it just as a general rule, I mean, anything that's a gift or anything that's inherited is always going to have special meaning behind it. Those are the items that I enjoy wearing the most. Our third question today is from Timo, and it reads, hey Kirby, great video. Are you supposed to wear French cuffs for black tie or is it just optional? And if so, do the studs have to match the cufflinks? So Timo, great question. For black tie, really French cuffs is not optional. And the reason is that you don't want to be showing any buttons visibly because it's just informal and automatically outs you as not having a dedicated shirt that's appropriate for black tie. Now the one exception would be getting away without wearing studs, but you would still want to have French cuffs, and the only circumstance in which that would be okay is if you had a black tie shirt that had a covered placket that is covering the buttons, right? So, you would have a totally clean front You'd have the fabric placket all the way down, and you wouldn't see any of the mother of pearl buttons on the front of the shirt. That would be okay. But otherwise, you really do need to have a French cuff shirt that is able to accept studs, and that is what is appropriate for black tie. Now, regarding your question about matching the studs and the cufflinks, of course, under ideal circumstances, you have a matching set, a formal set like the ones we sell here at the Hanger Project. You don't need to spend a lot of money on that. It can be something that you spend as little as a few $100 on, and you're able to get a nice, clean, either black onyx or white mother of pearl matching studs and cufflinks. If you have something you inherited or want to actually invest in a proper piece of jewelry, we've got our beautiful golden acorn cufflinks, and then our new jade leaf cufflinks that we've just added to the website. That would be a beautiful accessory, but you're going to spend $1,000 or a few $1,000s on a proper set of jewelry. So you don't have to go overboard. A proper, just clean dress set is enough, but preferably they're matching. Our fourth question today is from Nick, and it reads, I've never seen silk knot cufflinks before. Are they just something you stretch through? Yes, so silk knot cufflinks are something we sell a lot of these here at the Hanger Project. We've got a bunch of different colors. And for someone that's interested in wearing cufflinks but doesn't want to invest in expensive cufflinks, or just likes the simplicity and the color of a proper silk knot, they're a great alternative to more formal metal-based cufflinks. As far as putting them in, they're a little bit tricky to get through your cufflink buttonholes, but you just press them all the way through, and then they hold your cufflinks together perfectly. So the beauty of silk knots is that they're incredibly inexpensive. You can have 100 different colors. They're less formal and something that you could really wear a day in, day out without being too formal, or if you're worried about being ostentatious with a large pair of gold cufflinks. It allows you to still wear your French cuffs, but with something slightly more subtle and discreet. Make sure you check out the Hanger Project. We've got a full and complete collection of these beautiful silk knots that we have made for us. And our last question today is a great one and an important one, and that is, what is the best way to store cufflinks? So I'm going to really break this question up in two parts. One being how to store cufflinks at home, and the second being how to store cufflinks whenever you're traveling. So at home, I keep my cufflinks really in the lid of my watch winder that I keep in my closet. They're out, I can see them. I also have the box that my Rolex date just came in that I keep some cufflinks in. So, any type of jewelry box or any place that you can just put your cufflinks that that they're going to be safe and not easily lost is perfectly suitable at home, because when you're at home, you really don't have to worry about damage to the cufflinks themselves. They're not going to be moving, so they're not going to be, kind of jangling into one another, and you don't have to worry about damage because of that. I think the most important consideration is just security. If you have a lot of people in and out of your house, maybe you don't want to keep them out. Maybe you want to instead keep them in a discreet jewelry box that you keep in your top dresser drawer, or even if it's a very important, expensive set, maybe in your jewelry safe. You want to be a little bit more deliberate and careful with how you store your cufflinks during travel, because they can become damaged or scratched or even chipped depending on how they're packaged. When you're traveling, you're going to be kind of going about, and you don't want any nice pair of cufflinks packed in such a way that it's going to be kind of bumping in or jingling in with one another, because that can scratch or even damage the stones. So the easiest way, and really the least expensive, is just to pack them in small little jeweler or Ziploc bags. And what I would do is I would pack each set, or even better, each one individually in its own bag, just so that it's protected. Now, if you have any type of traveling case, this is a traveling case that we had made for us here at the Hanger Project. Unfortunately, it's been a while since we've carried these. We might add them back as a result of this video. But the important thing about this traveling case is we had this modified. Originally, Danes and Hathaway, who we had made this for us, just had a single compartment where you'd kind of throw everything into. Well, the problem with that is then it's basically a box that everything can really bounce around in, and really increases the exposure to damage. So we had this Cufflink travel box subdivided so that you could at least put every set of cufflinks kind of in its own box, and it just limited the amount of movement that each of these have. They're still bouncing around a little bit, If you really wanted to be careful, you could take a little bit of tissue paper and stuff it into the top of each of these compartments so that there's no movement at all. That's my recommendation. You can check with us if this is something that you're interested in. We're probably going to be getting some of these back in stock, or just simple little plastic bags. Anything that you can do, even those small little felt jewelry bags are appropriate, as long as they're going to prevent your cufflinks from really bumping in and potentially damaging one another. So some really great questions on cufflinks. Once again, I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone for their comments and questions. As I say at the end of every single one of these videos, it's your engagement on our YouTube channel that make these Q&A videos possible. Not only do these Q&As give me an opportunity to answer in greater depth a lot of the questions that I'm already answering, but they allow me to just take a moment to acknowledge my appreciation of everyone's involvement in this channel. I absolutely enjoy this platform and how it's allowed me to connect more directly with all of you, and I really have fun interacting with you and answering your questions. If you haven't taken an opportunity to ask a question or even make a comment, I invite you to do so. Even if you don't have any questions to ask, just sharing your opinion or chiming in allows you to join the dialogue that we're having online on our YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm wearing one of my bespoke Chris Despis fresco suits. One of my favorite. It's made from a blue Ennis fresco that has a slight little melange effect to it. So it gives this suit a lot of nice visual texture. It's made with patch pockets, but then a standard breast pocket. It's a classic 2-button with a single reverse pleat, tab trousers, and no cuff. It also has a double English vent in the back. I'm wearing my trademark white shirt. This is one of my Charvet shirts. And today I've got one of our regimental stripe Kirby Allison sovereign grade ties on. Absolutely beautiful tie for this more casual ensemble. My pocket square was a gift from Gary Tock. It's from the Master Shoemaker's book. Today I'm wearing mother of pearl collar stays and my Chopard perpetual calendar watch. I have a pair of our Palatino blue dress socks and my burgundy George Cleverly bespoke Baron de Reedy shoes. And today I have my Optimo Hat Company, a genuine Monte Cristi Panama hat, a beautiful straw hat, one that's perfect here in Texas and especially with this outfit. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and please subscribe to our channel and turn on your notifications by clicking the bell to the right of the subscribe button so that you can learn whenever we release new videos. If you have any questions or comments about anything we discussed on this video, please ask them in the comments section below. And of course, please visit hangerproject.com, where we have the largest, most comprehensive collection of luxury garment care and shoe care accessories in the world, as well as many other incredible products for the well-dressed. And while you are there, subscribe to our newsletter to receive notifications of new product launches, promotions, as well as a weekly digest of all the videos we publish here on our YouTube channel. I'm Kirby Allison, and we love helping the well-dressed take care of their wardrobes. Thanks for joining us.